Welcome back to this edition of The Tax Lawyer here on the Legal Broadcast Network. I'm Scott Drake with my guest, the tax lawyer writing in Forbes, Robert Wood, on great business automobile write-offs. Rob, welcome back.
Thanks, Scott.
You've been writing a lot of good, helpful articles for Forbes recently. Here's another good example. And it's regarding buying vehicles for business purposes. And the IRS fairly recently has ruled and given us some benefits that you can take advantage of, especially for higher priced vehicles.
Yeah, no, that's right. And I guess I did entitle this little Forbes piece, Great Business Auto Write-Offs. I suppose in fairness, it might better be titled something like a Great Business Truck or Heavy Vehicle Write-Offs or something. It's interesting, and of course this one we have to thank Congress rather than the IRS, which everyone is I guess mystified about what's going on in Congress now, what's going to happen tomorrow, but sometimes we forget, and I think this may be a good example, what Congress did yesterday or last year that might still be available. So this is one that, as we record this today, is one that we care about only through the end of the year, through the end of 2011. You have to act on this before January 1, 2012, but if you do, you can buy for business. That's of course a key. For business, 100% for business. A vehicle, if it's over 6,000 pounds, which is obviously a big vehicle, but I've listed in the article some of the vehicles that qualify. And just about all of the makers have, the automakers have, domestic and foreign, have a vehicle in that category. Lincoln Navigator, Porsche Cayenne, there's lots of them, and many of these tend to be expensive, and you can write off 100% of the depreciation in the first year. So that is a big write-off for a vehicle that obviously is going to be useful for a heck of a lot longer than a year, and therefore a great benefit. Congress can't or won't take this away. It was somewhat controversial, I think, in the sense that people, I think rightly might say, gee, aren't these gas guzzlers, and is this appropriate? But it is in the law. It was part of the sort of incentives, more than a year ago enacted, and it remains in effect through the end of 2011.
That was part of my next question, which was, why would Congress give deductions for cars that obviously eat a lot of gas, but it was, I guess, and have to be heavy in some way? Partly the motive here was to maybe spark the vehicle industry a little bit, but it seems odd that one of the criteria would be 6,000 pounds, and I'm wondering why they came up with that.
Yeah, and I don't, that's the rule. But a good point. I don't know. The lobbying process, as I guess, or the making of laws process is, as Otto von Bismarck famously observed, akin to making sausages, and lots goes into it. But in some cases, obviously these could be delivery vehicles. But if you look at, how often are Porsche Cayennes or Lincoln Navigators used to make deliveries for business? These are not service vehicles. These are more in the luxury vehicle category. But nonetheless, that's the rule, and if you can take advantage of it, it's a heck of a tax benefit.
Again, the article is entitled "Great Business Auto Write-Offs" in Forbes. Rob, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
You can find Rob's writings at Forbes.com and at his website. He's principal at Wood LLP in San Francisco. And I'm Scott Drake. You are watching the Legal Broadcast Network.